Most people just due to life have some kind of sore spot. You've got some kind of psychological scab that you've developed, something you're self-conscious about, something you don't want people to look at or realize or call attention to, something you want to forget exists, something you're sick of being reminded of all the time, whatever it is. Most people have one of those things. Some of them are super obvious, you know, like ask a fat person, what's the first thing somebody says to a fat person anytime they get in some kind of heated argument? What's the first fucking thing that's always going to come out? I mean, if you're arguing with somebody who's shitty. When you're dealing with a person that's just like, instead of trying to come to an understanding with you, just decides they start wanting to like make you look unappealing to everybody around them so they can look more powerful than you. And then somehow like that'll make them look right. You know what I mean? Like it's usually because they start losing an argument. It's a move people pull when they panic. Just look for the other person's sore spot. Everybody's got one. It's got to be in there somewhere. And that's what 99% of the problem is. It's a mix of the fact that you have a sore spot and the fact that other people are regularly seeking to exploit it for some reason. So let's take the fat person, for instance, the person who got called a fat ass just because they made a salient point that the other person couldn't really respond to. Yeah, have another donut, fatty, or some shit like that, you know. Do you think the person who said that in that moment, like, disregards all fat people in their life? Like, they don't let any fat people in anywhere. Like, if any of their relatives are fat, they're just not fucking allowed to Thanksgiving or something like that? Do you think this person has, like, some kind of health policy where he just so severely disrespects you for your lifestyle choices that he just honestly feels disgust in the fat person's presence? You know, and it gets to the point where you gotta say something. You gotta let somebody know how fat they are, even though they probably already know. It's just a bigot against fat. In me, I highly doubt that anyone like that would exist, because it's really weird, for one. And number two, like at the heart of it, we all really know how inconsequential something like that actually is. But what we're doing is we're taking everybody's sore spots and defending the sore spot itself. It's like looking at it on the surface level. You're just trying to put this big band-aid. Well, every different type of person and every person that deviates from whatever's socially accepted as a norm should be comforted and accepted and made to feel like one of everyone, just like everyone else, because they have the same rights and all that stuff. Do you think anybody really disagrees with that shit? How big of a dick would you have to be like, just because, you know, like, people I don't know, if you have these attributes, you should suffer. I'd say somebody who honestly holds that kind of stance, it would probably be mentally ill and need some kind of help. Of course, black people have the one big sore spot that's like super exploitable and it's super like tender, and just don't touch it, because it's so bad with that one that if you even go near it, some of them might panic and attack you. I said some of them. I'm not trying to sound like Jesus Christ. You know what I mean, though. But at the end of the day, when the whole thing's over, do you really think it was about like fatness or blackness or the fact that you have a dyke haircut or whatever? I'm not saying that in a hateful way. I'm just saying it from the perspective of someone who might be like trying to make you feel shitty. That was an editorial. That wasn't an expression of personal opinion. I don't know how YouTube works in 2018, so I'm just gonna 10-foot pole it. I'm just gonna say no disrespect. Fuck it, I'll probably still get my channel flagged and shit anyway. Who cares? But what I'm saying is it's not about your skin color, it's not about your body type, it's not about your haircut or your sexual orientation or any of these other things that we're treating like endangered fucking animals right now. You all got the whole fucking idea wrong, because it's totally not about any of those particular things. It's so much simpler than that, and I don't know why other people don't just see this. What it's about is about people looking for ways to be a dick to you for whatever reason in whatever moment. They're looking for a way to mistreat you as efficiently as possible with as little information as possible. That's why all these things that we're in an up fucking roar about are all surface level shit. And that's what a lot of these people will say when they're, you know, telling you never use this word or that word. They're always referring to something that everybody totally agrees is just some surface level shit. There shouldn't be anything deep in and of itself about that attribute or whatever. I'm totally not talking about churches and how they think of gay people or any people who organize themselves in some kind of,
unity, just to talk shit on other people. That shit is crazy. That's a whole nother issue. I'm not broaching that. I'm just talking about people casually throwing out words and trying to piss each other off. But to me, it's almost a reason not to take it personal, because the person who's trying to do this to you obviously knows nothing at all about you if they're bringing up some shit that's just surface level. It means they got nothing in their clip and they're just reaching and grabbing and shit. To me, it looks kind of silly. I mean, I don't really think about whatever particular words. Usually the first things I hear personally are about like my weight. Like, oh, you look like a cancer patient. I look like a meth addict. I should eat a sandwich. Usually next in line is my voice. I talk too proper. I sound like an old man. I'm grumbly. Usually when people mock me, they do it in this fucking grumbly whatever. But what it was, it's just the shit they could find just by looking for like 10, 15 seconds. It's all the shit you can find just with that level of examination with nothing else behind it. Just the act itself just shows how stupid it is. At least to me, I feel like it should do that. I don't know why it doesn't do that to other people. Do other people not realize what people are trying to do to them? I'm not saying that there are no racists. I'm not saying that there are no homophobes. I'm not saying that there are no what the fuck ever. Whatever shit that you don't like, whatever name you came up for, whatever people that think whatever certain way or appear to think whatever certain way about whatever certain people. Does that make sense? I should fucking write contracts for a living. But I'm saying, out of all those people, how many of them do you really think are like attending like anti-fat people rallies and shit? I realize lumping the black thing and the fat thing together, that's kind of sloppy. I'm just realizing it now. They're kind of not, you got the nationwide level kind of organized thing, at least on some scale going on with the black people thing, and maybe some with the gay people thing or whatever. Jesus, I organized this great. I'm just saying though, like, think about it. Like, a good portion of the time that this shit happens, do you really think that like the other person's a bigot, like, and they go live that lifestyle and contribute to all the other bigots and spend their time on their bigotry? Do you really think it's that kind of person? Or are they just like digging for something to get you with? I mean, honestly, which one sounds like it makes more sense to you? I don't know what the fuck to think anymore. Like, there's so much like news like that is skewed one way or another. I mean, you got your choice between the two, but either direction you look in, you're just surrounded by these like confirmation bias. Everything's so compartmentalized, it's hard to find people that are in the middle. But I feel like maybe I'm in the middle. I don't know what the fuck I am. I wouldn't call myself a liberal, but I don't like Trump hat wearers and stuff because I think they know what they're doing by doing that shit. I think the root of it is just at the street level of just people feeling the need to antagonize each other. I think everybody needs to like pick apart why that happens. Why are people digging for your sore spot? Why do people want to hurt your feelings as bad as they can, that they're willing to do it with as little information as possible? Why do people even want to drop the nuke on you like that? Like I said, it's not like they're letting you know, oh, I didn't realize I was overweight. It's not like that. They're just trying to remind you so you feel bad. I think 90% of the time that happens, it's a diversionary tactic. Maybe you made them feel bad for some reason, but I don't really hold out much hope of figuring it out because nobody's honest about how they feel. Everybody's like, you're upset. No, I'm not upset. Which one's upset and which one's not upset? Who the fuck really knows? Because people got this shit down to a T. Our country in particular is just full of fucking Oscar winners. They got the best fucking fake laughs and the best like fake smugness and fake confidence, and you would never know that someone like that hates themselves. Let's step back and look at their behavior. You know what I mean? Why does someone feel the urge to act why they're acting? You don't have to worry about the particular shit they say or the particular type of person they say it to. That's just convoluting the whole problem, which is what all of us fucking do all the time. We just convolute the shit and make it big and dramatic and newsworthy. But it's simple. I mean, people are dicks. I mean, we could go in and try to like take a little pair of pliers and pluck out each individual cancer cell or whatever. You maybe just want to just like grab the tumor with your fist and just yank it out. As you can tell, as far as like being a political pundit, I'm also an experienced medical technician. Everyone should listen to all of my advice all the time. But How much more work do you think would be necessary out there if everybody like truly agreed to stop being defensive fucking dicks to each other? I mean, how much more shit would we have to do after everybody went along with that? Do you think there would be any more work we would have to do? I don't think so. But yeah, in the meantime, I suggest you try not to get so personally offended, because you can just look at the mechanism behind what's going on, what the utility of certain things being brought up in certain moments really is. I think if you have the ability to, think about that part of the situation, if you find yourself in it where someone's attacking your obvious sore spot, it's just because they're looking for the way to be the biggest dick to you. That's it. I don't know how to fix it other than to say, hey, maybe people should stop being such dicks. But nobody's going to listen to that shit. Being a dick is fun. It makes you look powerful. Makes you look like you're assertive and you have guts and you're not afraid to blah, blah, blah. It's like a little hit of dopamine, a little mouse feeder bar. Like, yeah, I got him. I feel great about myself now. People love that shit too much. The call of it is too alluring. I don't know how to defend against it. Just, hey, everybody smoke a lot of weed. You know what I'm saying? Just smoke so much weed that you just don't even care about anybody. Anyway, this is the conclusion of all my great advice that you should totally live your life by. Look for my book in the summer.